What's up, guys? City of Punk here with Canterbury. How are you guys feeling today?
Great. Really
yeah,
good.
Yeah, not bad.
Now very warm, and a few minutes ago I was very cold.
Yeah.
I was outside, and now I'm inside. But in here especially, it's boiling. It's great.
Every single band has literally sat there when it's boiling in here. You know what I mean?
It's great.
This is to give the Warped Tour vibe, though, right? Like
Yeah.
I've heard
Pummeling
when you play Arizona,
This is the 110 degrees Vegas feel right here.
you step out the bus and you lose your air conditioning, and you.
Oh God, I really hope that doesn't happen to anyone today. That'd be just so unfortunate. But how are you guys finding Warped Tour UK?
It's pretty cool. It's it's out of all the kind of inside festivals that keep on popping up around the place, it's definitely got a better vibe. It's a great setting as well. Like it's beautiful building. So
It's kind of cool. It's like it's not been going. Like, is it just last year that it started over here in the UK, or they did a stage at Reading or something? But it seems much more established than only 2 years old. Maybe because of the name is so established, and like the whole thing is just obviously awesomely huge. But like it just feels really nice and organised from a band's point of view, which is obviously.
Were you guys really happy to be asked about it then?
yeah, we heard, like last year it was kind of just couldn't stop hearing great things about it. So definitely pretty privileged to be part of the lineup.
Yeah, plus just that name Warped Tour, and when you're growing up listening to music, that's just one of those things that you kind of associate with
It's
awesome
like you find
touring
out about Warped Tour before you find out about like Glastonbury and Reading Festival and stuff like that. It's just that one thing which is kind of like
Oh, yeah, because I remember got the offer when we were in the studio this summer, and it was like, you've been offered the UK Warped Tour. I was like, have we? But I think the email was like, Warped Tour offer, and you're like, we're going to America, London.
We're going to Alexander Palace. Content, guys. It's still a good thing. Don't worry.
you still get to wake up though on the day and be like, I'm playing Warped Tour today. Sick.
Maybe only one day, but it's fine. You talk about the studio then. You've got a new album coming out. Am I correct? Is it Dark Days?
Yes. Yeah, we got a new record. We've been working on it for kind of like the last kind of 12 months of our lives, which is kind of the shortest time we've ever had to write a record. But it was really nice to have that kind of pressure behind it. But yeah, it's really good. So can't wait for people.
January
to
13th, it will be in the open.
So we've already got a date. Every single band at Site today has not given us a date. They've given us months, but January 13th.
13th, it will be. There's a bunch of in the next couple of weeks. There'll be you can actually pre-order it now. You can pre-order it in April before we even had an album, which was kind of cool because the way we did it via Pledge Music and stuff. But there's a bunch of cool exclusive stuff we got coming up for pre-orders and being able to hear it early and get sneaky peeks of tracks and stuff. So stay tuned.
What can the fans expect? Because you guys have been one of those bands that you haven't completely changed your sound. You've just come out with something different every time. So it's really exciting, of course.
I think the kind of Canterbury thing is kind of we won't write the same song twice. There's a Canterbury sound now. We've kind of got a formula that works, but the songs in themselves are all kind of have a life of their own, and we don't strive. We got to make the song really different, but that's just kind of how they turn out. But I think on this record that's kind of just an example of the same thing, but just better and more honed and 6 years into our career rather than 4 years into our career rather than a year into our career.
It's kind of maturing, or it's just become a lot more easier to kind of come about.
Mature, but I think we're just better songwriters now. We're better at playing, we're better at singing, we're better at writing lyrics or whatever. So it's just kind of naturally what you would hope, kind of in terms of
6 years ago.
You'd hope your most recent record is your best record, which I think we're at.
As well, it's the most kind of, like I said, we only had a year to write it, so it's definitely a moment in time captured, whereas all of our other records have kind of been the first record, which is just 18 years worth of music, or second record for us, which was kind of 4 or 5 years worth of writing songs. This time it's literally been 12 months writing a record, so it's kind of just us where we are now, getting it out kind of thing.
Because you guys signed to Hassle Records, didn't you? How was the step to that one? Did you have other offers, or were those the guys you really wanted to go with?
We
have other options.
Yeah, I mean we've been kind of our ethos is very much kind of music, band, fan, consuming that. There shouldn't be too much of a block in between that, I don't think, and increasingly there is, obviously, with with big major labels and whatever. They have a huge detachment from. I mean, obviously, thanks to things like Twitter, you can get pretty close, like, and knock down those barriers. But at the same time, we kind of really wanted. I mean, we released the last record on our own label, which was awesome. But we knew, you know, you can only get so far when you're. Feels like, you know, kids setting up a record label. I mean, it was a real thing, which was awesome. We're super proud of how it all went. But we knew it could only reach so far and be taken a certain amount of seriousness, like regardless of what the music sounded like. So we kind of wanted to take a step up, but like retain every bit of kind of integrity and at the same time our choices and things. And
I wanted the innocence of Canterbury, but with someone who could put you in the right direction. Yeah.
To be able to like help us reach a wider audience, which Castle Records, I'd say, is one of the kind of remaining real artist-friendly indie labels out there. It's, you know, it's not associated with a big major. It's not being pumped full of money from somewhere else. It's just a bunch of guys in an office that love good music. So that's what.
So you guys thought it was the best option at the end of the day for you.
That's definitely.
Cool. Well, you said about, of course, pledge music for the new album. Was that a thing you had an idea for before you started writing it, or did it just come about and we like? Because a lot of other bands, of course, that we've interviewed over the past couple of months have tried it and it's worked successfully. Again, it happened with you guys successfully. So
it's a very modern way of doing things, you know, like, and like we're saying, that blockade between band and fan, this completely eliminates that. This puts them like literally helping to fund the creation of your record, which is awesome. And one thing we do have as a band is a great fan base, and one that takes hold of things that we kind of venture towards. So we were expecting it to go well, but it just, yeah, it was an awesome success.
well, let's touch upon maybe, of course, you've got this Warped Tour and you're really happy about getting that email in the news. And you guys have been on some pretty amazing tours over the last couple of like years and stuff. What would your dream tour be?
Christ, I don't know.
I've always had this dream of touring. I don't know why the States, but for some reason it would be the States with Jimmy Eat World. Like, you know, it's just one of those bands which is like, that is just, they're not poster boys, and they're not well known for any wrong reason. They're just well known because their music is fucking amazing, like full stop. Like everyone loves Jimmy Eat World. I just reckon that kind of band would be just so sick to tour with.
Yeah, I agree, that would be fun.
Maybe the Fleetwood Mac reunion tour.
Yeah, that would be fun if anyone's watching.
Everyone would want to be on that one. The Fleetwood Mac ones.
We'll do that.
What we'll do then, guys, because you talked about, of course, the album coming up. Is there any other future plans you could quickly touch upon?
Well, I mean, in terms of an album campaign, it's just full throttle from here on out. Really, we have the album's coming out in January. We're going to release a new single, kind of either just before that. As soon as the album's out, you know, tour, festival, really.
Of course, we'll be seeing a lot more of you guys then.
Yeah. I mean, in the next coming weeks, we're just going to be releasing all of that kind of information. Yeah.
Perfect. Well, I'll let you guys get on. January 13th, new album, Dark Days, ladies and gentlemen, Canterbury.